So, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Redstone Quarry podcast, episode 26. Today we are joined by.
Enemy's friend, heyo.
Micromat comp.
Which artist?
Niels.
And Wout.
You it's wow.
Yes, it's Wout. Today, I suppose we will get straight to the comments.
Yeah, today we have a lot of stuff to talk about, so
Indeed.
gonna go right in.
A lot of comments again.
Yeah, so I tried to break the records. I even got a tweet back from Robbie Toby, who asked when we would record this, so he knew by what time they should have posted all of their comments. And now
Just
it's
so
at
you
the
know,
20...
we're recording it right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
right now.
Come on, Niels.
Even
Right
though
now,
that
push
was
it.
a
when we're saying
relative
it.
term.
So it's at 230 comments right now for me.
For me, it says 223.
26. Update.
Well,
Oh.
It's 2:30.
They commented last
for me it's still
couple of
230,
minutes
so
ago.
let's go for that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the last one was. Well, not the last one, but like the last big one where they had a huge reply chain.
Give me
It
10
was,
seconds.
it was pretty close, right?
Last reply chain was pretty close. Like I think 191 answers to the one comment, and this is 196. Something like that. I haven't checked
On what
if
episode
it changed
was it?
back then. I think
I
21.
think like 23 or something. But...
21, because on 22 it says comment records.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, let's just start with the first comment. Myron
No,
points to
they did not make a record. The other one says 231. Now they're 230, so
Oh,
apparently no record.
Ha
Oh
ha
no!
ha.
Come on.
Maybe at the end of the episode.
if
Come
only
on.
TRQ shared this on Redstone Quarry or shared this on Google Plus, and we could have broken the record or tied.
Let's
Okay.
just do it next week again. We know those guys.
Yeah, don't talk about it. They're just going to do it.
Better look next time, guys.
Yeah, now actually getting to stuff we want to talk about. Last time we were joking that Myron must have been on vacation because we didn't have that many comments like this time, and turns out he actually was.
Yes.
Best thing ever. Yeah. Comment service. I actually was on holidays. Didn't knew that was so noticeable.
I didn't even know that I made that joke, but apparently I think Micro linked me to it or something.
Oh, that's so great. Well, and then other interesting comments. Someone else want to read?
Yeah, Niels.
Yeah,
I just read
Neil.
all of them. Most of them.
Yeah, before the podcast, they went through all of them. And it was
I
insane.
guess I'll start out.
Well, I could also read Churious one if you want to.
I'm
No.
lazy.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
would
I'm
like
gonna
to
start out with a comment from Ray, I guess.
Okay.
Ray works and Ray's works. Blah. Sorry, kill me later for
Doesn't work.
mispronouncing it first. But I think it's pretty important that you guys are having fun while doing the podcast. The only downside that I have noticed is that accents become more prominent at times of excitement, so which can make it more difficult to understand. Keep up the good work. So basically,
Yeah,
he's just
that's-
saying that people with accents, your accents suck.
I can definitely get if I'm trying to make a joke and I'm trying to speak fast. Like my articulations are pretty bad usually, so then
Well,
it
I
becomes
guess we won't. We
incomprehensible.
just won't get excited anymore. I think that would help.
We
Yes.
will.
I
all
suppose we go
talk
on.
like this.
Yay.
Just
Yeah.
sound like this.
The next comment that Ray posted is actually for you, Wout, and he was looking for the bedrock formations in the Nether, and over and he posted some pictures of formations he wants to have, and basically the question behind
Oh.
it would be if you could like give some information or like make a filter for those.
Well, I'm sorry, Ray. Okay, actually, I should have maybe checked the comments a bit earlier then, but the thing is that you have to specify which blocks have to be bedrock and which have to be air. And if there's any further, like with enemies one, there was even a condition where 1 out of 4 blocks had to be air and the rest didn't matter. So that was a bit difficult
Well,
to
also,
program. but it
also
was
you have
possible.
to specify which can be either one, because like if you check for the exact one, you will never.
Yeah, I
get
mean,
that
like
because
some
of
have to
one
be
of
bedrock, some
those.
have to be air, and if you don't specify them, I assume they can be anything. So
Yeah, like in
That's the thing.
in your first picture in the Nether, like you're never gonna get that if you just check for that absolute condition, because
Yeah, of
you
course.
have to remove the bedrock on top to get like that anyway. So
So you have to also specify which positions have to be air. And if you don't specify it, I would typically just assume that it's air or bedrock or whatever, or netherrack, you know. So yeah,
Yeah,
if
the
you do that,
quartz.
then I could build some options in the filter and do some more runs if you want to. Unfortunately, there's not much of a general way to do it because of that condition I just talked about with enemy. Also, I could make the filter accept a schematic or something. But yeah, like I guess this won't be used that much anyway, so this like communication should also do the trick. I
So yeah,
suppose.
just like post more pictures in the comments, or I think that will work, right?
Yes, I suppose. And if there's any additional conditions which fall outside of has to be bedrock or it has to be non-bedrock, then yeah, specify those in text, I suppose.
Or maybe also make a schematic. That would also work, right?
Well, the screenshot is typically good enough.
Yeah, and like if Wout has more questions, you will just comment on it. So I think we're fine. Okay, next comment is oh yeah, from Oliver Maney. You know there's a way to make Minecraft harder. It's called hardcore. You don't need to dev ban, and it still makes the game harder if you use it on a server. Actually, it doesn't. Like if you don't use dev ban in hardcore, there's no point in using hardcore. It's just like playing hard on like normal Minecraft and difficulty free. So, or is
I
there
think-
something I don't know?
Maybe he thinks that on hardcore you have the no regen thing.
That's not true.
That's ultra hardcore.
And maybe he thinks, I don't know. just
That's game rule health, natural health generation of false, and then you actually do have that. And we had that in the beginning of our server, and like at the second you get like a first beacon, it doesn't make any difference anymore. For like that was my experience.
Mhm.
Well, you build like a small little gold farm and have a few melons, and then you basically are already fine with that. Like you have a health potion or two on you all the time.
I suppose you're always fine, it's just a bit more annoying. Well, I've
Yeah,
never tried it.
it's a bit more annoying, but not a lot more difficult from what I could tell.
Yeah,
but
like you have to make portion of health, I guess. Or if you're really
No.
rich, you can just go for golden apples.
yeah,
you have
but
to
like
put a regen beacon. That's it.
yeah, if you're early in game, it makes sense to turn it on. But like after you have your first beacon or two, we also turned it off because it didn't really make a lot of difference anymore, and was not more difficult but more annoying, and that's all. But this week, me and Mike were talking about something else, and you posted a comment, so you might want to read it out.
Oh yeah. So hold on, let me just find it really quick. Here it is. Okay, so Enemy and I were discussing a hilarious concept the other day. We decided that something even more difficult than hardcore, called something like metalcore, would be instituted. If you took a single heart of damage, you would lose your worlds. And it would be pretty funny to see how long people could actually like last in their worlds with that.
Yeah, like basically like
Basically
ultra
playing with
hardcore.
1 HP.
Ultra hardcore, yeah.
I guess you could easily make a world for that if you like, or if you just generate a world and go to your save file and then just like change the MBD data for base health.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm not sure if it like changes it back, but I'm not. Maybe made it.
Well, couldn't
worse.
you also set up a command block system to detect your amount of health left or something like that? Or is that not possible?
Yeah,
You can do that with scoreboards, how much health you have.
Yeah, you could do that, or you could just like go do the damage taken scoreboard and like kill you if you take damage.
Mm-hmm.
But like
Yeah.
I think it would be a bit more fun if you have like one heart absorption damage, so like the random skeleton arrow won't kill you.
Oh yeah, and
But, like-
it would still be very, very difficult.
Yeah, like I just want to see how long people can last. Like if it's like 10 or minutes or 30 minutes, or I know like people that go really really hardcore on this and like Iron Man it or something.
or like
The-
even worse, like they build like a multi-village iron farm or something like that.
Yeah, like
The best
know,
thing-
I know like a Crown built a trench on hardcore, so
Yeah, well that's hardcore.
yeah, like so that's at least this part where you have to get to, and this even harder hardcore.
Metal.
A good thing about the metal core, or whatever you want to call it, is you don't have to make any health potions, because after 1 hit point of damage, you're already dead. So
Yeah.
it's an advantage.
Yeah, you don't need to like, oh, I saved this up for later because you're gonna be dead anyway. Yeah. Anyway, like if you guys would like to try it, it would be very fun to see if someone does that. Or just like maybe make a video if you really want, but you could just like paste make a comment with your time. That would be really cool. Maybe if we find some time, we will try it ourselves and, and see how far we get.
Oh my god!
No,
Imagine a
no,
TRQ metalcore stream.
Oh,
That
would be
stream, that
really
would be a
awesome.
2 minutes episode.
That would be awesome. Like I would really like to do that. if we can like, I don't know. If you guys
One
like it, we
day,
might do it. So tell us. Next comment is from Treefork. We were last time talking about the record sorter he made, and his comment is, for the record sorter, all credit goes to Mango and Leggard. They came up with the concept and a working version to start with. I just came along and compacted it. They also made a version that, using instant dropper mechanics to make it faster. So that just destroys the purpose of the original concept completely. And yeah, like they actually this week made a video about it. It's Useless Construction Series number 2, if I'm not mistaken. And actually, they have some really cool thing in there. They have they have this instant dropper, but it doesn't use like the normal thing. They have like 8 power rails, and you alternate with activator rails.
Yeah.
But they have powered and activator rails alternating all the time, and that way it still works. But you're not dependent on the 8 or 9 blocks from the rail. But you can just go until you run out of signal strength, and that's very cool and way better for horizontal instant droppers. So it's actually quite beating the purpose of useless stuff, because they always show something that has some really cool use. Like I guess that's part of the point, but really cool nevertheless.
I've become attached to pointless things. They're just so cool.
Oh, they're technically not pointless, so
Yeah. Like,
Makes it
for
ver-
example, speaking of pointless, I, for example, have recreated witch huts, like, using every single type of wood and wood log, so that way, like, it's just a different variation, and I have like 6 different types of witch huts in my test world just floating around.
interesting. That's actually really pointless. Good point.
But isn't it the same as just making a house? It's pointless. You don't need it. Just need
Well,
a
I
place
know,
to
it's just
Well,
put
like
chests.
if you have a house, you technically have 4 walls around you that protect you from other mobs if you do it correctly.
Maybe you have a more complicated house.
House has the purpose of looking nice.
A house
But
with
it has to gotta have more than 4 walls.
a house with a piston door entrance and something like that.
a house with more than 4. Wait. Oh, wait, never mind. I was like, hold on, how is that possible? But then I realized, oh, wait, there's more shapes besides a square.
Actually, just solve something. If your walls only have straight angles, or not, like right angle triangle, right angles, then the amount of walls you have is always even, if I'm not mistaken. I just did some math right here. Yay.
You always do right
Very
angles on your
relevant.
walls, and you will always have a square, right?
Yeah,
No, you can
is it
take
like-
And
There's
then
no
you have
way to avoid that.
even the amount of walls. Yes.
You
Like,
can also
No.
have a
No,
rectangle.
yeah, like you can have a rectangle and then have like a bit of
oh yeah,
sticking out of it.
if you go the other way.
But as
right
long
angle,
as
yeah,
the
fair.
angles are right angles, then you always have an even amount of walls, it seems. Which is, I guess, makes sense because every time your angle, the direction you're going in, changes by 90 degrees. So yeah.
Yeah.
So it's actually hard to prove, but I just thought I made some mathematical revelation.
Happy for about.
Okay. Next comment. Someone want to read this one? I already have 4 sets of armor. Or should
No.
I? Okay. Well, this comment from Jeve. Well, I already have 4 sets of different armors. Fire protection isn't needed usually when I use it. I go on quartz strips because you don't have to worry about fire damage anymore. Same goes for blast protection, but it makes sense when having an open fight with a wither. Projectile protection doesn't make any sense at all. That's true. And I don't need to carry so much fire resist, and I don't need to be careful with lava swing, and that happens to me far too often because of my great inner pearling skills. Yeah, like I don't know, like I never even like use, for example, blast or fire, because maybe it's just because we're so spoiled and we don't encounter lava that often.
Yeah.
Or at least I don't, and when I do, I have like fire resist because we have like double chests full of it left over. And yeah, like I just don't ever like in my playing style. I don't have any use of those other enchantments other than protection. And yeah, I kind of hope that in Reform 9 they nerfed it a bit, or like change it to the point where you have like more variation in your gameplay that you actually need to use like blast armor, for example. Yeah. Anyone else want to say something about the different armor stuff?
Basically
Okay,
the same as what we said last week, so
moving
much
swiftly
red.
on then. Now to the comment with all of the replies.
No.
No.
Should we just sum it all up? Because I don't
3D
want it to
printer.
take that
No,
long.
stop.
Well, like it starts with it would be interesting if the armor enchantments would be affected by difficulty, and
Oh, yeah, that too.
that way it gets harder with like the difficulty and not with anything else, right? Because the enchantment would scale as well, and then that comment was by Roby Toby, and then Yeve replied that you could just like change your strength 1 beacon to strength 2 beacon, and then you would just defeat that whole thing. But like, quick rant here, strength 1 beacon make no sense. If you don't even use strength 1, like why? Like if you look at how strength scales, strength 1 does 130% of the damage, right? So you get 30% more than your base damage, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Strength 2 makes 260% damage.
good point.
Like that's so much more.
Yes, but the thing is that then if you have to add another beacon, and maybe it doesn't line up
No,
with your.
you can
You
just
don't have to just
If
add
you
some
if you want the
layers
legion
of
with all
iron
beacons,
blocks. And it's only 2 stacks and 36 blocks to make a beacon pyramid, so that's dirt cheap.
Well, what if you don't have those 2 stacks and 36?
That means you're in your first week of the server.
no, it can also no. If you have a single cell, you also have it. If you have a working village loader.
like if
But-
like usually, at least in our server, it's that way. When we have strength, we also have some other kind of effect because we assume that we're going to be there for longer,
Yeah.
right? And then we usually also have speed or jump boost or haste or resistance or all of it.
We basically
And-
always make a quad pyramid.
Yeah, like I strength is usually not the one I'm like going lower on. Like I do resistance less because, well, like your armor is so good anyway. Sure. For resistance, you have the same argument as for strength. So I know that I'm kind of like digging my own grave here, but for resistance, to me, it doesn't matter that much because if you actually get once hit by a zombie, well, your armor takes damage anyway. You, well, mostly don't.
Yeah.
And yeah, like if you have a creeper in front of you and you can kill it with one hit with strength 2, but not with strength 1, then rather have strength 2 instead of like blowing up and having resistance 2. Well, doesn't make a lot of difference anyway with good armor. So
Yeah. Oh, and also, I feel like we should make the point really quick. Sorry for interrupting. Whenever we use the term dirt cheap, I think we should stop using it because it's easier to get iron than it is dirt.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. That's like iron cheap.
Iron
Iron cheap, yes, perfect word.
Yeah,
it sounds
like that.
cooler too.
There are more comments where it goes on to like not everyone has a beacon and so on, but mostly.
Well,
Mostly everyone has a
those are
beacon.
like the first 4 comments, and then it goes to what the whole thing is actually about, which is about printers. And
but I just need to respond.
Laser
Can I just for a second?
printers?
Yeah, about the beacons, I just checked. I know the reason why you could not have a strength 1 is for strength 1 instead of strength 2 is because if you have 5 beacons and you want to get all effects, that's impossible. You need 6.
well, that's why you have 6 beacons. Yeah, if you
Yes,
have
but it
enough to
doesn't
make
line up
5
well.
beacons,
Like we on Reflex, we have our spawn beacons, we have them in a cross. But because if you add a 6-1, it messes up the entire symmetry.
then make a bigger plus.
No, but because then you have like 9 or something. I don't know. But I mean, okay.
You have 4 more. Yeah, what's the point?
You don't
Also,
need
we don't
all
have
of the
space for that.
effects.
Then we need like way more holes in the roof. Which
Then
we
you
don't
make a
have.
3x3. It's also nice and symmetric.
Yeah, but that's like too bulky. It's a design
3x2.
choice, okay?
I'm
It's a
sorry,
design
but, like,
choice.
this is just yeah.
Yeah, so if you have a
choice,
cool
it makes
design,
no
if you want to
sense.
have a nice design, well, yeah, because I mean,
Well, like
well, actually, we chose to just dump Student Boost 1. So I mean,
yeah, like jump boost 2 is and speed 2 is usually like if you're not building something, it's usually not that helpful. Or if
I would say
like,
speed is actually one of the most important
no,
ones.
but
to
jump
run
boost.
spawn.
But jump boost is really
Jump
annoying because if you have jump boost 2, you're actually going slower most of the time.
The thing is with
When you're
jump
jumping.
boost, if you have jump boost 1, most of the time I find it stupid because yeah, you can jump high, but you
yeah, well,
don't have
1.5
that
block.
advantage of jumping 2 blocks high.
Yeah,
The only
you
thing
can't
you
even
can jump over fences.
Yeah,
The
that's
only
it.
way where that's useful is when you have an animal pin.
ban.
Ban.
Well, yeah, like also the thing is on Reflex, so the main game breaking concept, if you feel like calling it that, is that we have the duck jumping, which gives us jump boost 2 if we want, basically. So yeah, it's kind of useless to have jump boost 1 all the way when we're running around. But like, if you really want to jump boost 2, I guess you could have strength 1. Well, that has many effects as possible, and so want to have regen, and have 5 beacons. So yeah, that's my logic, and I know it's awesome.
Not
Okay.
as awesome as me.
Okay, now to what actually all the comments are about, which is print attack. And we won't read all of them. Of course, we won't. Maybe
Would
you can,
take
guys,
an
next
hour.
time just make like one to sum it all up, because like it actually takes quite a while to read it all and see if there's something worth mentioning in there. And well, a lot of it is, but
I think if we just read them separately, it would be faster than the way how we did it. So
yeah, like
Yeah.
we sat down like for the last 45 minutes reading each other. Like Niels was Jewe, I was Roby, and we just like
Hey,
all
I didn't even
got
know you were
reading.
acting.
And then like Norwegian came in as Myron, so like sure, like it's a bit more fun to read that, like sit there and like try to read this whole thing,
Mm.
but
it takes a long time.
it takes a long time to see what you're all up to, and yeah.
Maybe we should say when we record so they can post a summary in time.
Summary, yes.
Actually, one of those like newer comments is Roby with, I can say that 3D printer is not done, but a fully working 2D version is already done. So, but like some of the stuff is really interesting. For example, they were talking about different colors and how you could do them, and like they use cowl and smoothstone because it's easily generate to generate and so on. And then when they start with the 3D stuff, you would want something where you don't want a full cube, right? Because then you don't see anything inside. It makes no sense. You don't see if it's hollow or not, and therefore they used well, we have air in between, right? Otherwise, it makes no sense. Like you want sculpture or something, and you could do that if you just like push in silverfish blocks and then like destroy them afterwards. It's like easier than like you have like a whole wall to push, then like only position a certain block in a certain position, because you need more logic behind that. But then it goes on with like wall feeders instead of eaters, and like a lot of different stuff, and building possibly computers to manage it all. And data input is really hard, because if you need a template and you need to build it as well, or input it some way. And if you like binary input color A, color B is on off, that's like a bunch of levers you need to flick. And if you like build the whole thing, then
A
like
lot
you
of levers.
yeah, it's a big amount of levers. And how you do different layers. And there was this thing with chests, but it's usually done in command block printers, and it's a bit hard to do with survival tech, and a lot of that stuff. Then they had like the idea of upscaling templates so you can build a smaller one, but like you do big stuff. It's like, for example, if you want to a certain sculpture, and I don't know, that would work that good. I actually haven't read like the last ones of those, so might be that they they came to a good conclusion for that. But yeah, maybe next time just like make a nice little summary for us. That would be very awesome, guys. On the other
Actually,
side,
it wouldn't be awesome. It would be very mean.
no, well then we can just like say, okay, it's what those guys have been up to, and then we can skip that instead of like reading all comments.
Ever hear of sarcasm? Ooh.
No, but I like that you put it in the comments, because then I can read up on all the different things you're up to, and like
Yeah.
nice little projects you start. Just like it takes a while to do all this.
And it also takes Niels to act as Yewe, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course, because reading it alone is not fun.
Reading it together also isn't fun. But
Yeah,
that's
that's-
It's
apparently
in
the
more
theme.
fun. It's more like just if
Um,
you were in there, you can just listen to what Jiwei and
Yeah, I don't
That's
have to
best.
read all of it. That's fun. I think now we only have two comments left, and both of them are from Sharia, right?
Also,
But-
can I say something about the printer tech?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Roby, he sent me a tweet asking about a possible way to store data, and Anime also linked to a video because of that, which I will also link in the description. It was about I think it took 2 kilobit RAM. Not all RAM. Basically, the person was using single strength as well as comparators in a big loop, chain up in a pretty compact manner to store, well, per comparator you can store 4-bit technically. And then we had a pretty big drive. And basically I didn't respond because I didn't really come up with anything, but I would like to say that I did think about it, and I actually thought it would be interesting to have more like that, have a bunch of different tracks, have a bunch of different cycles, and kind of make a hard drive, which is maybe it's a strange idea, but the problem with that big loop, in my opinion, is that so yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just check the video, I suppose. Problem with a big loop to me seems that you have to wait for a minute maybe for the signal to come along you want to read, so that would take quite some time. And I thought maybe it would be more interesting to have basically a hard drive where you have a bunch of different tracks, and like even the farthest track maybe takes like 10 seconds to cycle or something. But yeah, so that's what I thought about that, and I didn't make anything, so no credits or anything. But I just want to say I didn't ignore you or something.
Yeah, just to fully credit, I guess the video is from Koala Steamed,
Oh yes,
and I remember that video because Bout was asking for a lot of storage capability instead
that
of
was for that.
for quick accessibility, because there are also solid state drives in Minecraft that are instantly accessible basically, but they are not as compact with data storage, so that's why I linked that to him. Yeah, like I'm not that big into the Minecraft computer building community stuff, tech, and so on. So I know, like I think the Open Redstone engineers, I think it was called, is like a server. A lot of them come together and do that stuff.
Yeah,
So maybe you guys can check that out.
I'd be more into redstone computing if I actually knew like more digital logic. Like I'm not really great with digital logic, but somehow I'm good with redstone.
But
You can
to me,
learn
it's
it,
it's
so.
it's mostly that I don't have a big use for it in survival, and that's the thing I play the
You can
most.
build computers which play Minecraft.
And the thing is, if you have an idea and you need something, then it's easier to make than I want to make something. Let's see what I can make.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Personally,
like
if I need something to do this, and then okay, let's make something for this. Then it's yeah, and that way it's easier to make something. Because otherwise, I have no idea what to make.
well, like when I looked at one of Roby's screenshots, where he has like from his input, like where he selects which one, if it's color A or B for his printer. He has basically like I think 18 redstone lines side to side and so on. And like this is the part where you later on, of course, don't really need it, but it makes sense to use it. You could come in and make like a busing and like do like a serial bus or something to like make it more compact and so on.
Yeah.
And more neat. But yeah, not necessarily needed. So that's why he probably didn't do that in there, because it's still a prototype and needs to be worked on and so on. But yeah, that might be an idea if you ever want to make like some super fancy printer and get it all worked out and so on. Yeah. Now to Shuria's comment.
Plural.
Comments. Yeah. First about the. I'm not sure if it's the earlier one. Basically, it's about last time. I think we talked about that some of his comments come along as a bit mean or rude because he's like so straightforward. And comment basically reads, I don't really care about how mean I am to someone. I will be as mean as possible to someone who makes big bold claims and can't prove any worth. I highly suggest watching Ray's in-depth video where he shows very questionable measurements, mostly irrelevant things that stem from misunderstanding the way the game works. I also suggest reading my and some other Cycraft members' comment conversation on him with him on that video, although not for the easily offended. I stand by everything I said, and I won't elaborate on that matter. Let everyone be their own judge. I read, I think, most of those comments, if not all of them. What about you guys? Do you have like any of those?
Well,
I
I'm
read,
not
like,
into
2 or 3
survival
of
like that much, so not much.
Well, yeah, I guess we should say last time we were wondering what Ray can come up with that makes his farm 2% better, right? Or I'm not remembering incorrectly. This week he actually posted that video, and later this week also there's a tutorial, but it's like not really important for that point. And he basically shows that he has like no comparators, entity and tile entity free, but technically tile entity free is also not correct because of pistnet and shit. But yeah, like there's this big argument on what actually matters, because he's like very on the point of like you need to get rid of like all your minecarts and boats in there because it creates so much lag, right? But to be honest, it doesn't really make that much lag that it would make a lot of difference, right?
Yeah.
And like using a hopper timer in there, like you get the duplication problem, but that's like your biggest problem with those.
Mhm.
And yeah, basically Sharia goes on about how he's really making a design to fix a problem that doesn't really exist, and and his measurements don't measure the important things, right? And like his measurement were, I think he said that like his measurements were a bit incorrect and so on. I didn't like do my own checks on that, so I know like from what I understand of how the designs work, his should be faster because it uses less block 36. But to be honest, in the end, since basically the first instant activation one, I don't think the outcome has changed significantly, so it wouldn't really matter which one you build in the end, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
Also, wait, are we talking about shifting floors here?
Yes.
Okay. I saw a comment by Spire, I believe, and he actually made a good point, which was that, well, we're doing all this effort to get the floor back in place as fast as possible, right? But what's the actual point of that, considering that, well, if you have you can push over 9 blocks, and which hut is 9 by 7, right?
Yes.
So you
Yes.
can basically push another block into place where the spawn floor used to be.
Yes.
So I think Spire argues something along the lines of, well, okay, very nice, you got it back instantly. So or even if you can have the space where it's standing still in the center, even you can make that to 0. Well, what's the point? Because then you just have, if you have space there, well, that time in which they can spawn, they don't need some kind of warm up normally. They just try to run spawns every tick normally, right? So,
Yeah.
Well,
I-
the thing is with the shifting back, you don't need that because you can shift another block in, right? And that's basically the whole point of the toggle state, where you only shift one direction, and that's why it is in theory and in practice also better. But the practice, it's like so
okay, never mind.
insignificantly
Then I
better
misunderstood something. That was stupid on my part.
that you wouldn't really tell in a survival aspect. I mean, if you have a quad witch farm, you probably can notice a difference, but not to an extent where, like, if you build the other side, you would say, "Oh God, I'm losing so many items." And
It's maybe just a couple of stacks an hour or stuff like that.
not even like I think in the video it says like 70 items difference over, I don't know how long the test was, but like an hour maybe.
Yeah,
I don't. If I'm incorrect, please correct me in the comments. But like to me, it's like I look at those designs. It's like, well, technically, it's the Sharia's one is better, but in the end, it would be
it's
if I
just
play
a
survival and
minor
build a new one, I
improvement.
build Sharia's one. If I play Skyblock, I build Race one. Like it doesn't really make that much of a difference. And I mean, sure, you make a good point that like wait, let me pull up that comment again. That your standard of what is good and not is just by the game code, and the game code is the only fact that you can like rely on, right? And you don't like work on assumptions of how the game works and so on, and it makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah.
But like to me, in the end, it's like this witch farm is like so insignificantly more faster, and that is like the point where I care, right? If it's much faster, I build the other one. If it doesn't make sense to build the other one just because I get 10 more drops an hour, no.
Yeah.
Like for us, we only have a download widget compared to the 3 times more they have with their 1.8 quad widget, and like I just put my bot on there for like the whole day and get what comes out, and that's it. And It's a noble goal to always make the best design possible, and please continue doing that because you're doing a good job at it. But honestly, like we're all here to as a community and being friendly and making to better designs and helping each other to make better designs, and not being here to give others a harder time to when they try to make a good design. And Val is not as good, but and Val, of course, he makes his claims and kind of attacks you and says, okay, yours is worse because of this and this. Sure, that beside, like we're all here as a community and want to have fun together, and I don't think you need to be as mean as possible, but sure, like defend why yours is better and so on, but you don't need to be mean.
Yeah.
Just from a totally social standpoint, like being mean won't help you to convince people. I think that's a pretty well established fact. So if you really want to convince him or others, it's probably better to stay constructive. Well, there's two things I'm usually
I'm
inclusive,
not
but
saying he's not constructive. He's just like,
yeah,
very straightforward and maybe a bit mean. I guess you
Well,
could call it, but
I don't know. Maybe that's not his purpose. Maybe he just wants to prove it, like for himself, although not in an egocentric way. Yeah. I guess it's a bit too hard to argue for that. It's a bit too much on the personal side, maybe.
like, yeah, to me, you guys put a lot of effort into making this very good designs, and I appreciate that. Don't get me wrong, and putting all the math behind it and so on. But to me, in the end, it's like the output that counts to me. And well, you guys may like in your argumentation that is like super long, and like you actually make very structured comments and so on. You're not incorrect. That's not what I'm saying, but at some point it's like doesn't matter to anymore. Like if I get 10 items more or less, like seriously.
Yeah.
I think we maybe should move on.
Yeah, and
Mm.
this is probably the point where I'm saying so much. I'm not doing any new arguments. I'm just
Yeah,
repeating
you
stuff I
said
said.
the same thing
On that
twice.
note, though, I have to apologize to Sharir for not knowing historical state design. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
and
we
have
only
too much
talked about it
friends.
like 3-4 times on here, so.
I just copied the show notes. I'm not interested in everything.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I know, you're a
Well,
creative
it's just
guy.
the show note
It's fine.
guy.
Yeah, because I talked so much now, someone else please read out Shiria's other comment so we can finally finish up the comments.
Yes, who would do
Okay.
that?
I got it.
Actually, I don't think I should do this one.
Why?
Because the end?
Huh? The end?
Come on, they really have to. Let me copy. Give me a second.
Wait. Hold on. Is it the
But-
signs purposely don't
Yep.
comment? Okay.
Yes.
I
got it.
think it's a pretty long comment, and
Yeah,
reading it
we
out
can like
we-
we don't need to read it out all, but we can check
just-
like
All right.
Well, I try to go
Main
through
points.
it quickly, maybe.
I'll
So-
try. I'll try to read it.
But
Not
you know
everything.
what?
it's
Macro.
way too long.
What?
You don't know. Check
Read
the
it
comment.
out
Check the end.
completely.
Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah.
just-
This is Wout's field. Like, go ahead, Wout. Just start.
Okay. I'm sorry to all non-Sharir people, but Sharir has a request, which we'll get to in a second.
All non-Sharir people.
Like all viewers minus one. Science purposes don't have execution restrictions because the whole point in adding the JSON functionality to them, rather than just sticking to with the old command block behind the button, is that it is it's a method to not restrict map makers and to allow for smoother, better functionality, such as, for example, auto team management, which would be horribly annoying to do with a clear command, for example. Anyway, the easy fix they should have made is actually to just disallow any MT data to be stored in the creative tabs. I mean, there's a whole infrastructure in the game for it. You could just generate a token that shows that this client has no modification/MBT data in the creative tab, and that if it does, not granted access to the server. Not that difficult. Or just delete any MBT data for items taken from the creative tabs. I've said this before and I said it again, fixing a bug may just mean preventing the circumstance. Or so some Minecraft developers believe. Randomized checkerboard values would be very nice, by the way. I suppose we're going to answer this by, or respond to this by part, because it's very unrelated. As for the first part, the idea to just disallow the whole MBT data copying thing for creative players, in my opinion, that's of course that's what I'm solution I thought of, but I use it too often personally. Like just look, I placed this board of signs. Oh, I have to switch it back. I have to shift it by one block. Like if you have to do that on creative without without MBT data saving, yeah, that takes some time.
No, but
So,
like
yeah,
he's
mini
not
board signs,
saying
I would say,
about
is
like
useful.
disallowing this functionality, but like if you take a new sign out of your inventory creative tabs,
Well,
Then-
first, yeah, I don't entirely understand this comment because first he seems to imply that he doesn't want creative players to use it at all, and later on he wants to do some kind of authentication to prove that you got the item from the server. In which case, it would also be a bit hard, in my opinion. I don't fully understand how. Like, you could think, oh, the server randomly generates a token, it gives it to you, and when you place the item, it checks if the token is one of the tokens it handed out to you, and which hasn't been returned yet. So you could only have one, but then you could just take a token and still generate a completely random item out of it. So the token would somehow have to be some kind of hash of the MBT tag in the item to prove that you
Well,
didn't mess with it.
As long as there's no MBT tag in the item, you're fine, right? You just need to check that.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
the whole point, right?
Hmm?
For all items that you take out of the creative tabs, you have no MBT tags in them, and you just need the token to check that. Or am I wrong here?
well, no, because if you still want the creative functionality, where you can take signs and just move them for a bit by copying the text on them.
Yeah, but no,
Then you
like
need to
if you're
save.
taking something out of the creative tabs, like you go in your tab, you see like all the armor stuff, and you take like a piece of armor out, and there's some sign out, and there's MBT on that, and that shouldn't be allowed, and that therefore you need a token, and not like having it in your normal inventory.
But wait, what did that token mean then? Isn't the
It just
idea that
checks that that item that you're getting has no MBT tags.
yes, but like you can't be sure that the player doesn't use clients to modify their own inventory. That's the thing. You have
Yeah,
to
but if
check
you-
upon placing whether or not you have to check when you place a block, if I'm not mistaken, if the MT tag is out, or you have to do checks on the player's inventory and change the item's server side, which would end up with ghost items probably if the player does try to hack. But I don't care, I guess.
They still have those anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to hack, yeah, like I don't care about ghost items. But like you would have to perform some kind of check on the item whether to determine whether or not it has the right tag and you gave it to the player. So it has to be some kind of hash composed of both the tag of the item, which shouldn't be modified by the player, of course, which was given to the player by the server, and also some kind of index only the server knows, so the player can't recreate it on their own. I don't know. It's an interesting concept, I guess, but computer sciencey. Yeah, let's move on from that paragraph. Okay, next part. Macro, of course, we got the new tool since beta. It's the most important one. Guard on a stick, of course. It was ending 1.4.2. Indeed, that's the newest way of transportation. I think that's just one thing very liking about that. I think pick should run at 30 meters per second, and then we would have our perfect new mode of transportation. And we'd have just piggy roads in the nether, and it would be super fast. And we would make carrot farms to supply that, of course. Now, the technical... Alright. About the door or sorting thing, that was a joke. We don't understand that. It's not difficult to understand if you look at it just saying. I don't fully know what that's about, so I guess we'll just move on because we already have been spending some time with comments. Next part. The technical wiki lighting page is absolute crap. It gives it gives no information whatsoever about how lighting generates, and it picks its location, etc. B, it only explains lightning bolt class, which really doesn't do much, and even explaining that, it doesn't do a very thorough job at it. Just pretty much says that the code says line by line with a few lines missing here and there. C, it doesn't have my video therefore, so it stinks. D, it's embarrassing to say, but I know, but the classic wiki page on thunderstorms is better than the technical wikis. E, it does redeem itself with one video in the end, which is by Nasmus. A good video, not very thorough, but it doesn't say it's without code backing, but rather from a lot of testing. Pretty well the concept and exactly what happens when lightning tries to generate. So as for that, I think as for my own response to that, I guess I earlier said I was impressed by the wiki page. Then again, I didn't really check it. I was just quite surprised that they were talking about the inheritance structure of lightning classes in the code, which yeah, I have to say kind of sounds irrelevant. But I just thought it was funny. As for the content, I can't really say much about that. I'm not sure if anyone else has something to respond to.
Well, you made a nice list of reasons why it's not as good as we would like it to be, but still, like, you can change it. You made the video on it. You know a lot about it. You probably read the code enough to like paraphrase it without looking at it. You can go and make the wiki page better. And
yeah, that's of course also
That's
a thing.
the thing about it.
you can put your video in there, and therefore the wiki page doesn't stink anymore.
Yes.
So point C is already done. No, like seriously, like Wiki is for everyone, and we can all make it better together. And since you obviously made like 3 videos about it now,
which we will link, or just one of them.
we will link the latest two because we're gonna talk a bit more about them. Yeah, like please help make it better. You can move on with the comment.
Okay, let me. Yeah, sorry, I was finishing up notes. And you need to fill 10 more seconds for me.
I need to. Okay. Well, I don't know.
Maybe.
Pirate. Ah.
What?
Okay, I'm done. I can fill out later. Thanks.
Okay.
About useless contraptions videos, I'm surprised no one has mentioned so far. They are basically wrapping the whole video up in a big pile of shit. Are demonstrating one neat natural trick in each video. Be more observant.
I'm
I
sorry.
did
That's
not-
what we did, didn't we?
Well, I don't know. Was
I
it last
tried.
week in the end or something?
Last week and this week, and like in the beginning, like I try. I'm sorry. Like,
Okay.
yeah, they make cool stuff, and then
Apparently, I wasn't just absent, but I'm also deaf. So, yeah, that's just me. I guess we will. Yeah, sorry by the way, but like we kind of want to move on because we're already 45 minutes into comments. So
Yeah.
we try to get through this quickly.
this is gonna be a long one. We have a lot more stuff to talk about. I don't want to cut it short. We can make 2 parts. I don't care.
Well, I don't care. Like, look, we do this democratically, right? So,
Well,
Yeah.
personally, I like to get out of follow-up as soon as possible. So that way we can get onto real content in a way. But
yes,
I mean,
real
I'm not
content.
denying that follow-up is important.
Not that
Yes,
follow-up is
like
not real.
very
but
original contraptions which were made in the past week and hasn't been done for years. I see.
thing is, yeah, too long and follow-up. I think we should just more.
Well, yeah, but
do
we
the
kind of have to
content
answer that. I
part.
mean,
Yeah, like the thing is that
like, is there
everyone
really?
makes such good comments that we need to answer them, and I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
don't want to neglect that. And if it means we're gonna make a longer podcast, I'm sorry for the ones who don't like the long podcast, but
I mean, we got the
I
show
wanted-
notes anyway, so it's pretty. You have pretty good view of where the news and such starts.
yeah, and if it like gets 3 hours long, we just split in 2 parts, and you can listen in 2 parts.
Well, then Niels need to stay up a bit later, so I'm not sure about that. But we should probably move on from that as well, maybe.
yeah, okay, now.
Okay, so let's really try to get through Shreya's comment, and I think maybe Enemy, you can already look for more comments. If
I
there are
don't know.
any
That's the
more.
last one.
Okay,
I
good.
think we should move on to news after this comment.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will. Go on.
Our mangoes as farm is just as fast as TDLs, if not faster. I'll send mango over for DLs. Okay, so mango will be sent over within a week, I
We will
suppose.
talk about it.
You definitely did a much better job than last time with the bullshit parts. Well done. I vote Macro out of the podcast.
No.
Macro, be gone. Okay, now.
By the way, you didn't hear the
Yeah, I
voice,
know,
but
but-
it said Buddy was moved out of your channel.
So it said user was moved out of your channel because I have not
I've
uploaded with
added
Macro.
and everyone to the contacts.
Yeah, me not
Whatever.
because I
Go
don't
on.
have any friends.
Next.
I've decided that this is a good way to respond to these podcasts. Write out whatever I want to say. Write whatever I have to say whenever I hear you talk about something at my life. I'm sorry, it's late. And then I post it at the end of the video. And I'm about to read this whole thing out loud, and that's why I did it. Last note: there may or may not be a great new member on Zycraft server. So yes, that will be the title. New Zycraft server member, and that's totally not the bait title. I suppose that's it.
Like you said,
Should-
they're about to read this whole thing out.
Yeah, actually not out loud. I said out loud because my
Yeah,
English apparently
it's-
sucks.
Well-
Wout, you should have read that earlier.
we could make I could make the unpopular opinion of maybe there may not be a new great member of the Minecraft server.
Okay, new podcast title. Not a new Psycraft member.
No,
Or
like,
not great,
podcast
not a
member will
great
be
one.
like packed with awesome or something like that because we have a
Yeah.
lot of stuff to go on about. First thing I have on my list is your video because you finally released your project. So
Yay!
talk a little bit about
Only
it.
2 days late. Wait,
Is-
what?
It's very cool.
I'll talk a lot about it. Take whatever time you need. I have time.
But
But
then
the-
this is gonna
the-
kill me. He needs to
Go
go
on,
to
well,
bed.
You can do it. Don't. Well, if it's gonna kill you, only go like half into detail.
I made a door.
I like the music in the video.
I opened it and I closed it. And also the music was on by Professor Click, who's I will link to the track itself in the show notes. Not show notes, description. Yes.
Isn't that in your video? In
Yes,
your massive description
all-
that is full of stuff.
Yes, but people keep
so
on talking
not
about the music. I'm
possible to
like,
put
hey,
anything.
actually, I didn't make it. The guy didn't know I made it. Use it. So yeah, I thought I should mention it.
no.
So yes. Now I put it in the show
your
notes.
door.
So Yes, I made a door, I opened and closed it, and people like it. And I'm
That's
happy.
all. That's all you want to say.
Well, I don't know, like it's a bit too general. No, I worked on this for 50 days, so
Wow, isn't it your most viewed video?
yes.
In the beginning, it was 1,000. Ooh, already 3,000.
How many views
Ooh,
does
I
it
woke
now?
up and I had
Whoa.
99 notifications, and then I was at
100 almost.
you.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we can discuss that, I guess, if you want to, but I don't know if some people, sure, want to hear that. Yes.
Maybe like talk a bit about the technical challenges you had building this thing, because you didn't talk about them in
Seamlessness
your video.
wasn't. Well, the idea for building it, I had it I think July or somewhere. It must have been July somewhere, because I remember Sankar released this video like mid-August, and I saw it pop up notifications. I opened notifications. Sankar shared a new video, 50 by 50 door, and I said, "Screw you, Sankar! I was working. I already thought of this." But actually, Sankar door. Well, actually, the door wasn't made. I don't know why, but Sankar made the video, and the majority of the door seems to be done by Burgles. We will link to that video as well down in the description. So that was the first thing. I remember in August I built some machines, but they sucked and they used different technology, as I call it. Basically, I guess I would just call it Burgle technology, which has some limitations, mainly that, like, I based most of my technology back then on that door by Sankarn, by Burgled, short by Sankarn. And the main problem with it is that you have to update every piston when you want to reverse the machine, because the way it works is basically that you push and, well, you only have pistons push. On every component, you only have pistons pushing, well, one way, you could say. Well, not actually one way. You only have one piston coming in, pushing one way, and one going out, pushing the other way, it seems. And basically, with Redstone Jazz's technology, you have that twice, you could say. Which means you need a lot more blocks on your components, but you never have to update anything. You just have to reverse your engine and to get your thing going. And so basically, in mid-March, I was like, let's get back to this project. This actually sucks. Let's take a look at Hudson Jazz's videos. And yeah, since then I've been working pretty consistently. Anything else you need to say, Anime?
I'm not sure. Like, basically almost all parts you use, you have separate videos on, right?
Well, all I considered somewhat interesting, or like update some previous stuff. Like, I don't know, I made a video just quickly showing how to fix the verbs to make it orientational independent, because I thought it was orientation independent, but I never I never guaranteed it, and guess what, it wasn't. So I thought, well, I'm not going to have this machine be directional just because of this one flying machine within it. So yeah, that's why I made that extra video. But like, most of the stuff I made a video on, as long as it wasn't too specific. So actually, that's not much really. That's like, I don't know, 7 other flying machines or something. So it's something, but like, I also had to build a bunch of flying machines just for specific purpose of picking up blocks or dropping them off, which needed to have some extra loading capacity and that kind of stuff. And also, we need to be tileable. Not tileable? Yeah, tileable. If that makes any sense.
Yep.
Also, seamlessness was a big deal. Actually, when I was working on it, I thought about it for a fair bit. And well, the main issue was with seamlessness that basically the engine which controls the central thing, which picks up and places blocks of the actual door frame, that thing, well, it goes up and down. If you were to have the engine within like the door tunnel, then you basically need to have your verbs, which reverses it, also in your door tunnel, which means the engine would have to be a lot lower or higher. Well, lower would be more practical than the actual block collectors, so that in both states, well, or at least in the open state, that way the verbs wouldn't actually be inside of the door frame, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, they wouldn't. No, it wouldn't have to be that much higher, but it would have to be a bit higher at least. So that would also limit the. So I think, I'm not sure, but that would probably have limited a bit under 100 blocks. Oh no, wait, I forgot one thing. Actually, no, it would have to be a lot different, because basically, if you need to make sure that both the top and bottom station to reverse the actual verbs itself would have to be outside of the door tunnel. So that way you have to put it entirely above or entirely below. And if you put it entirely below, that seems the most realistic way. You still need, like, then your flying machine is going to be very high, because it needs to basically whenever it arrives in the verbs at the top, the actual block collectors have to be at the top of the door, so it's like 100 blocks further up. And as a result, you wouldn't be able to make a 100 by 100 door, which would be the main, which was my main objective. If I could make it 100 high, that would be good enough. The current design should be 106 high maximum, by the way. So I dropped that, and basically
higher. Or is it because of the?
Yeah, sky limit. That's the big thing.
Oh.
Like,
Can't you change that?
No. Like every machine, by definition in Minecraft, every machine is limited in height, even if they say it's scalable. So that's why I called infinitely expandable. Of course, there is some limit in vertically speaking, and technically horizontally, because 60 million by 60 million worlds. But I mean, you always have some kind of limit. So considering I first built
What
a
is
10
the
by
opening
10.
time for that? Still the same?
No, it's quadratic in terms of width and height. So 100 to 100 by 100 to 30 million by 30 million would probably be. Well, let me grab this for a second again.
You don't need to calculate it right now.
Well, yeah, you're right. But no, I
Long
actually kind of
time.
want to. Sorry, I need to just quickly check. 100 times 30.
Should we talk about something else while you do it?
Well, it's not that hard. It says would take about 1.944 times 10 to the 15 seconds. So, but that's just assuming that it's perfectly quadratic time starting at 100 by 100. So that's not true, but it's pretty close.
Okay.
But it's not true.
Yes, it's not true. That's right. Oh, well. Yeah, maybe I
yeah.
should stop. I talked too much already.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I should stop, then we could end the podcast now. But
Well, I mean, I could talk about it for hours, but you're not gonna like it, and I can't blame you.
well, we can make like Wout special edition.
Our special edition, yeah, they
Wout,
can love that.
Wout
Wout's
podcast.
monologue.
Wout monologue cast.
Yes, I just record myself talking for an hour, and then you paste it into the podcast.
Yeah,
That's
You don't have to
make,
listen to it.
vlog,
make special ramble editions.
video, and there's an audio log, so an A log. Wout is going to do A logs.
Yay.
A-logs. Yes, it
A-log.
sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. That is the next new thing.
Video logs without video.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much I
Yay.
like
Happy
this
for
idea.
out.
This
That sounds like a very good idea.
yeah.
And you have to have this.
Okay.
This
Since you
voice.
don't want to talk about your door anymore.
Look, like I want to, but I just feel like it would be selfish. Like it's up to you to decide.
Well, I guess if you guys want to know more about the door, just like write a comment what you specifically want to know about, and Wout
Wout will
can talk
answer
about
Unless
as
you're
fast as
Sharia, because
possible.
you will be a meanie.
Yeah, or like Wout will answer in the comments or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wout, can
Um,
you guarantee that you will reply within 1 day?
Not, it depends on whether it's hidden in a 230 comment tweet chain, comment chain.
He will reply within the week.
You will
Possibly.
reply within a week times the
Well,
amount of
just-
comments which went before you.
just put the plus Wout 1 2 3 4 5 in the beginning, and he will get a notification anyway, right?
Yes, that's probably smarter.
Yeah. So, okay, I guess then we can talk about next thing, and not chronologically, but usually we do this stuff first. There was a new version of Minecraft.
Yet
Called-
another.
Yeah,
another
we should have
security
talked about
update.
that earlier because normally we do merging news first.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I kind of forgot it. 1.8.7.
Yet another security update.
Yes, the third one for 1 buck. Yay.
No,
It
the
is-
fourth one actually.
Yes, but this one is the third one for the same buck. That's the thing.
Oh,
It's
yeah, okay.
the same bug again. That's
Yes.
Same bug
Well,
but different.
They may have also have fixed other stuff, but the
Is that
main
for-
stuff, it's still about we can play stuff with MBT data and run commands with it.
it's
The
still-
changelog lists 4 things. First one is resource packs do not get cleaned up. Second one is resource pack continue downloading after disconnect, which seems really stupid. Specific Unicode character pair crashes. TR_TR client. And science can cause crashes still. Yeah, I kind of don't want to talk about it anymore. It's just every week the same
Well,
thing.
I think I heard
Yeah.
from Nerdy or something that Panda found it, and it was basically it was a bit more complex. I believe, like my guess was that you can still use stuff like summon a falling sand entity with a command with a command block with a command in it, or I don't know, place a custom spawner which summons a falling sand entity with a command block or a minecart command block or something like that. Like, look, people, there's just too many options. You have to navigate the tech. You have to just check. Like, Minecraft is pretty complex. There are lots of we can freaking create any structure within certain bounds with one command. I think that says enough about how much information you can pack into a single thing. So I don't really see why they don't go for that way, but seem to be solving these individual cases. But
Yeah, I guess
of
if you
course, in the
keep-
end, we are not having a discussion with them, so they can't develop themselves, and they may be.
Well,
more
they could
than
listen to us.
Well, yeah,
What are
but
the
I mean, I
chances that
don't
they'll
blame
hear
them.
us?
Well, no.
They're not
It
bad,
ju-
but
it-
they're not good either.
It just shows that if you always fix the circumcision and not the problem, then you have to make more and more
Circumcision.
Uh,
Yeah, okay, whatever.
circumstance.
Circumstances.
That could
Sorry,
sound
that was the wrong
really
one.
enemy.
Sorry. To me, it sounds similar, so fail.
Whatever.
Sorry. No, like if you just fix around the problem, not the problem, you will have to do more work in the end, and that's how we end up with more security release versions. So
Better one good update than 6 price like snapshots to fix something.
And now, thanks to that, we have yet another security update, possibly coming on the way. I don't know.
maybe, yeah. I'm sure they will get to .11 this time. If
If
they
we have
don't,
to
like,
wait-
we will find more bugs. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry about that. We'll be sure to find more bugs for you.
Yeah. Well,
Getting to 11, does that mean so many bugs? Or we have to wait so long for 1.9? Or
Both.
both of them?
both.
Both.
Also, not surprising, actually, by now, didn't have a new snapshot.
Oh my god.
Like, wait, did we ever get a new snapshot since we started the podcast? I think we only got the April
Yes,
Fool's
we got the April
version.
Fool's one.
Yep,
Yeah.
only the April
Yay.
Fools.
14W20. No, not 20, like 15 or something.
So
7.1.
basically, you guys are going 26 weeks plus without snapshots.
Yeah, I'm starting to believe more. That's also because of totally. It has nothing to do with Minecraft itself, or well, not much, but I'm
26
not sure.
is half
You may
year.
have seen an article this week. It was surrounding. I think it was in GameSpot. We'll link to it. It's the past 1 hour. So GameSpot, Mojang article.
It will
there-
probably be before 1 hour.
Will it?
Well, it's 1
Well-
hour 6 right now for us, so it'll probably like 1 hour 2 or something.
1 hour
Should be good
8.
enough. Should be
Go
good
on.
enough.
Go on.
Oh yeah, security update. We will also link that. Another one will be linked after 1 hour because screw it, I suppose. Okay, so anyway, let's get to the article. The thing was basically that in the article was about a book being released pretty soon, and it was about the Microsoft takeover of Mojang September 2014. So that was like about half a year ago. About everyone learned about it, and basically, like it did reveal that there are more tensions within it seems than they seem to have revealed through Twitter and that kind of stuff. So definitely wouldn't surprise me if this is one of the things which Microsoft, like especially after reading that article, I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft has been implementing some policies we just haven't heard about. Like you don't do Snapchat anymore, just go for a couple of pre-releases at the end and do some changes accordingly. And if they wouldn't be allowed to say something about that, I don't know. So yeah, I support that theory. That's all.
Well, what's kind of surprising to me, like, if you do quote unquote 9 months of work on like a different, complete modern one, for your game, and never like tested really, like, I don't see how that works. Like, snapshots has like millions of beta testers or beta testers, depending on like how you like to pronounce it. You can't replace it with like, I don't know, like 100 Microsoft guys who test your game or something. Doesn't work.
Yeah, people
And-
who know the game best are the best testers for that game.
Well,
Yeah, and that
more
is the
like if you want to
community.
have a economically viable game, you need to have it tested by people who are playing it. Like people
Yeah.
want to say, "Oh, we are good PvPers, so we have to test PvP." Oh, we're good at technical minds, so you have to test Minecraft. No, the vast majority of the people who play this game and pay for it are people who log onto their survival worlds, feed their cows, and I don't know do what, but like they don't care.
Yeah, but like you cannot replace all those hardcore community members, like quote unquote, just by like
Just like, but you should
Microsoft
just.
internal
Yes,
people or whatever.
Yes,
It
indeed,
doesn't
but like
work.
you shouldn't say that we have to test it either, because that's just saying, "Oh yeah, we're the important group." But like we're just a couple of thousand people making second time
Yeah, but like
They're-
you cannot replace those couple of thousand people doing like.
But yes, but you
like,
don't have to
knowing the-
do that. That's the thing. Like they only
How
care
would,
about
how would you
the
how would
economy.
you
rather
balance
than it.
PvP completely new with like all the changes they made without testing it properly? I don't get that.
Well,
with
you
testing
can test it. Well, I'm not saying they shouldn't test it to test it themselves. I'm just saying that you seem to say that, oh look, you have to test it by those hard working players, but that doesn't matter. If like
Well, the other thing
if
is,
10,000 people are are moaning about it, that doesn't matter to them. Like they're still playing the game. I mean, it doesn't really change much. It's more about, is this going to prevent people from buying it in the future?
well,
That's
if you like change PvP in 1.9 and it sucks, and everyone will stop playing PvP because of that, then it
Yes,
will affect
indeed.
them.
But
And
if
that's why
only
I
the
say
PvP
they-
warlords, let's say, stop playing because they find it boring, well, that doesn't matter because they're still survivor games will still be filled with all kinds
Yeah,
of
but they changed
people.
like all the PvP mechanics. Yeah, like it
Yeah,
will
like
affect
I'm not looking
all-
forward to it and being like, oh, I want to like I wouldn't mind if everything stayed the same on that part.
like I
but
saw a
then I
tweet
don't
this
matter that
week.
much in the big picture, and I think you should acknowledge that.
I saw a tweet or Reddit post or something this week where someone says, "Hey, I haven't seen any of the 1.9, but I hate it already because I played this game for, I learned to play this game how it is like for the last 1.5 years, 2 years, and now they're changing everything, and I have to
Well,
relearn
yeah,
everything."
The thing is,
So-
they have a point there, but in the end,
Like-
by that philosophy, you basically can't change anything as long as it's been there for a while. But because if you
No,
wait
no,
even longer, then
I'm
well,
just saying if they're like not doing any snapshots and they cannot make it as good as possible as they could with snapshots because they don't get the
Yes.
feedback from the people who are actually doing PvP all the time and who will use those functions in the end.
Yeah,
And-
and just really quickly mentioning something, there are test builds of Windows 10 currently. So like personally, when people say that it's Microsoft's policy, that's that the reason why they're not pushing out snapshots, and
actually good argument. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's still
Are those
to me, it's not
also-
enough of a counter argument to believe it because it just there's too many stuff pointing in that direction, in my opinion.
yeah.
those
Well,
test
I-
builds? Are those weekly test builds or something like that? Or
No,
is
they're
it
not
just,
weekly test builds,
or
but
just
they are.
a
Yeah.
couple of
Also,
them.
there are other motives behind that, as far as I know. There have been like people saying, "Oh, look, if you do this and this, then you actually can't get back to Windows 8. You do it for a couple of months like this." So, like, guess what? Now you have to buy Windows 10.
Yeah.
Like, so there's probably also some motives behind there we just don't understand yet.
Well, yeah, but it's meant to be it's not meant to be used on your main computer or test build. They're meant to be
suppose.
used on just like either run through a virtual
I
machine
mean,
or
that was just people saying some stuff. I don't care. I use Ubuntu, and
Yeah.
I don't like Windows 8 anyway. I try to stay away from it.
And
So,
anyway, back
yeah.
onto the Minecraft subjects. This isn't a Windows podcast.
Yeah, while you were talking
Yes.
about that, I remember that there once was a tweet from, I think, Dinabun or Sarge, where it's like, yeah, we don't do snapshots at the moment because we don't have anything done.
Oh yes, indeed. But like at this
And,
point, it definitely seems like, hey, you have this new quiver slot. Hey, we have these new items. Maybe they don't work yet, but in the past, I think they already released items which actually weren't functional yet, right?
I think they just have their graphical interfaces.
I remember that they released a horse saddle and then deleted it the next snapshot.
And
Yeah.
then added it again.
No,
No,
because
then
Wait,
after
horse
that you
saddle.
had
an
to
Yeah,
use
yeah, I
the-
remember
individual,
that.
like horse saddle, not like
Yeah,
I-
like
I-
specifically for horses. Yeah, I remember
Yes.
that slightly.
I don't know why they even
Deadly
added a
bad
separate
memories.
one.
I don't know. I kind of feel like with like if you look at what they tweet over the like last few weeks, it seems there's a bit of direction missing. Like there's no one who's saying like they don't have a roadmap. They're saying okay, we need this stuff done, then we can push out an update on snapshot. It's
Well,
like ooh, I made it not a shield slot, but an offense slot, and you can do this now, and this is changed, and this is changed. It's like
Well,
this is
actually,
now this way, and like it seems to me like they don't have like clear direction where they want to go.
It's
and
just
that's kind of
random
concerning
things.
to me.
yeah, like
it's
to
I
me, it
made
seems
this,
Dinnerbone
you
is
made
working on the
this.
PvP stuff, and we don't have a clue what Sarge is working on. He's just releasing random pictures we don't know anything about.
yeah.
Probably bug
Jep,
fixing.
I don't
maybe?
hear anything from Jep really. I was
like
thinking
the
more
last
still in
tweet
general.
from Chap I read is like, ooh, we're in Japan visiting Minecraft people eating lunch or dinner or something.
That's not the last
like-
tweet I read.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't read his tweets in a while, but
No, that's a joke, but whatever. I guess.
yeah, no, like it seems like he's just traveling the world or something, like promoting or whatever.
Well, the thing is that he was the main developer of Minecraft after Notch left the development a couple of years ago.
Yes.
So I suppose, like, also something from the article you can get is that Microsoft really just looked at Mojang as Minecraft. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jap is kind of like the main guy who communicates with Microsoft right now.
Well,
Honestly, I think Microsoft's purchase decision was a little excessive and really funny because like they bought it at the game's like highest peak, and then it just took a like from an
Well,
economical
partially because
standpoint,
of
it just
that,
took a
but
dump downward.
yeah, but
well, I don't
that's
know how
kind
it
of
works
because of the
economically though.
Quarry.
Like I don't know, does Mojang have shares or anything?
I
Did
don't
they have
know.
shares?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, the community seems overall uninterested.
Well, yes, but like we're only the more thing is when you get to a game like Minecraft, which is played by tens of millions of people, like economically they care about who buys new games. Like that's what the PC version is about: buying a new game, paying
Well,
$10
they
and
probably
having it
just
forever.
sitting there.
They don't care about
obviously-
us. As long as we attract more people, they're happy. If we don't attract new people, like we're doing right now, they don't care about us. That's the thing. Like you people, the law of
Well,
of
the thing
capitalism
is,
isn't to
like,
make people happy. It's to get people to pay for your stuff.
Yeah.
Well, what if the thing is, like, the people who play the game and will keep playing the game are the people that have been here for a long time, not the people like who
Yes, but
buy
it
the
doesn't matter if you
console
keep
version,
on
play it
playing,
twice,
right?
and leave then. And because
but
after
after
a
you-
while, those people will not come anymore. And I'm sure,
Yes,
like,
but
every
th-
hardcore
But
person would, like,
Minecraft
say,
is something which is just there's
Yeah,
no
but, like,
subscription-based servers.
I
It's
know,
just
but, like,
one-time payment.
if let's say they would make good updates,
Because then more
or
people
less
will start buying the game.
more or
Probably.
less like regularly, and then instead of like depending on the new game sales, because there's only so many people in the world who play video games, just say, okay, a new update, $1, $2, and if like all our player, if it's like a good update, like I don't know, something that
And we just
really
use
awesome.
euros. That's
euros, 2-3 euros, I don't know,
and
1-2 euros.
why don't
Like
you just
not
make it
expensive, just like you
okay.
charge a little bit for an update that's well made, I guess. Like not crap, like something you would actually want to update to instead of like
I wanna pay for.
184 or 547 or something, right? Because you have to update because of security, but have to update is also a stretchable term if you're like on a private server.
Yet
Well,
another,
that's not very
another
viable
security
either, I
update.
think,
But,
for
like,
games like
if-
Minecraft.
Why? Like then
Because
they
majority
keep
of the
making
people
more
who
money.
play, because the majority of their income are people who aren't in a great position to pay. Like I'm 17, I can't have a PayPal according to its terms. This is difficult. Like my dad, I used my well, I didn't use. I asked him if he was okay with it, and like yeah, sure. I think my brother handled the finance and stuff. But like I couldn't buy Minecraft at the time, and that like was a one-time payment, and since then I've just been playing without any issues. With RuneScape, you could set it up that it automatically did the payment every month, so
Like
that
yeah,
also
like
worked. But
the
like if you
subscription model.
have to manually do a payment for every update, then that would probably
Well, if
be
they,
a-
if
a
let's
dr-
say they like spend 6 months working on like the next big, let's say the adventure, the Halloween update, like things like those, the good updates, big updates that actually change the
Yeah.
game and like make good stuff, right? If they like work on that for a while and then you spend like $1-2 on that, or
Euros.
like euros, or maybe
Or
let,
Norwegian money.
let it be 5, like I don't know, like not some like Call of Duty $20 for 4 maps or some shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's
something
not gonna work.
outlandish.
It's something affordable, right? For like a few bucks.
Or
And
like
then like
apps in the app store that just are all 99 cents.
yeah,
and
that would
it's
probably
just-
work better.
yeah, like
Just
people
was
would
99
want to
cents.
if they make
on a
good
bit.
updates where people will say, oh, this is something new, I want to play this. They will pay like 3-4 euros or dollars or whatever, because that's nothing why you wouldn't play this thing. And I assume people have the means to pay for an update because they have the game in the first place, right? So
Yeah, but it's more difficult.
yeah, that's
some
your
people.
case, and maybe like some other people's, but I don't think that's like goes for everyone. So
No,
that's
not
why
everyone,
I-
but like enemy. Just ask yourself, like who, if you look at like Minecraft, at the whole demographic, not the people you know, not the people on
yeah,
Twitter,
yeah,
not the people on
it's
YouTube,
younger
just
people, yes, it's
just the
younger
people who have paid for the game, like under 18 or above 18. I mean, I don't think we need to
It's
discuss
both.
that. Well, yeah, but I mean, most like I would argue
Yeah,
like
most
70%.
of
The
them-
main
most
demographic
of
is like
most of them are
15. There's like the 13-15 range.
Yeah.
yeah,
it
but
wouldn't
like
surprise me.
if like for 14-year-old Johnny, like every half a year comes to my mommy for my birthday, for Christmas, I want a new Minecraft update, and she's like, oh, you could have the Minecraft update of free pieces of ice cream. Like, come on. Like
Okay.
I think that could work as a paid
Yeah.
update model.
Like,
where
I
they
definitely
actually
think
make
a
good,
couple
like,
of dollars would probably
updates.
work. Yeah, like every
Yeah, and then
like
they
6
wouldn't
months.
have to. Yeah, but like let's say 1.9 is crap, and
Well, we didn't know, but
we don't know, but could be because
I'm most
they didn't
interested
do
in
a
my
lot
own
of
opinion on
testing.
it in a year because,
what-
like, I also
yeah.
like things about 1.8 probably, which I just don't remember anymore. Like, I can't exactly think of anything, but I'm pretty sure there was some stuff I
Villagers.
rejected.
No,
they
I,
were
Yes,
really
I,
for
I don't
example,
like.
villagers changing their traits, so we don't
I,
have damage anymore.
I don't like the enchanting, and I don't use it.
Yeah.
Huh, works.
That's also like,
No,
I'm like, I'm not sure, but like in the end, I went through with it, and
well,
well,
yeah, in
look,
the
I'm
end,
here.
we're gonna
I'm not
probably play it
mad.
anyway because it has some cool features that we would want. But like, if 1.9 is crap and the console sales also won't go on infinitely, then at some point the Gale will, I don't know, don't want to say fall apart, but it will not continue like it used to. And I
Well,
don't
we're
think
trying at least, yeah.
just on like new purchases you cannot continue forever.
Yeah,
And that's why I say this update model could make sense.
I also thought they would actually do that once they got the company, but I still don't understand. To me, it seems like it's almost a prestige move. Like, hey, we got like one of the biggest games, 2.5 billion, suck it. I mean, because I mean,
In a sense,
I haven't
yeah.
had to make a single penny since they acquired the game. Not a single penny extra. Or nothing really. So
It's
where do they want to
basically
get their
just an
2.5 million back from?
economical a
Well,
miscalculation in a sense.
You don't know. That's the thing. Like,
Well, maybe it's
they're not
just
telling
they
you
want to
they
own
are.
the name or something. I don't know.
Just like maybe they want to.
Maybe
they want to
wanted it
boost
for
their
like Hall class demonstration once. I don't know.
Or maybe they want to use it to boost their Xbox sales or whatever. I don't know. Like maybe it can create other industries.
Possibly, yes, but
It just sounds weird. I also thought they would go for a subscription model once they got it, but it's just like they have to get their money back somehow. They're not idiots, or at least some of it. So
well,
yeah.
maybe 1.9 will like my I probably won't happen anyway, but like, it would be cool. Like Minecon, they surprise us. They like are super organized. Like they have the roadmap. They have 1.9 for Minecon. Like bam, here it is. It's perfect.
They have a lever on the stage, and now we release
That sounds
1.9.
very familiar.
But yeah, back to stuff that happened this week because I
Yeah.
think we like talked
We've
about
been
it.
talking about this for way too long.
Yes, Niels
No,
didn't like
that's
it.
not
He's a
too long.
socialist.
Okay.
The thing is, I don't want to make the podcast 3 hours. That's way too long.
I know. No. Stuff this week. Sally and Senkan made a video each for detecting short pulses and like the duration of the pulse. And they have very, I guess, interesting method to doing it and uses armor stance. Yay, 1.8.
Yay.
No, like it turns out if you have like a 1.5 tick pulse or a half tick pulse, the armor stand behaves different than you have a 0 tick pulse. For example, the 0 tick pulse pushes the block into the armor stand without moving the armor stand. If you have a half tick pulse, the armor stand moves and it doesn't have the block inside. And like if you give it a normal pulse, it will move more, and so on. Like if you give it a 1 tick pulse, it will like leave the block behind. So, and like, all the different kinds of stuff. So you can find out that way. And they say that you will need that knowledge for stuff they will show in the future, so I guess that's exciting. But don't get too excited because then our accents will come through.
Yes.
No, but you can also do that a very different way. Find out how long your pulse is, and Wout knows a bit about that stuff because he did it before. And the stuff I'm talking about is tickspeed mods.
Oh, wait, you talking about the Obsidian platform thing or something?
No, I'm just talking about the general release of Panda's tickspeed mod. Then Cubitect made a tickspeed mod, actually like a day or two before Panda released this, because he was tired
Yes.
of not having one. And later
makes
this
sense.
week, Sharia also made a tickspeed mod. And there are some differences between those, and that's why we will real quick talk about that, because I don't have too
Quick.
much to talk about it. And yes, quick. Main difference is that Pandas is server and client. So when you turn the tick speed to 0, everything will stop, and you cannot move anything.
I don't think it actually allows you. I actually never tried to put it to 0.
From
not
from
sure
what
it
I
allows it.
like from Sharia's video, he explains the differences, and apparently you can do that.
Well, yeah, in Sharia you can it because you still have like GUI tracks and that kind of stuff. He also probably had to write some code so the world still checks for commands and that kind of stuff, so you can actually unfreeze the world as well.
Otherwise, freezing. Yep, done.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like that's what would work if I can actually do tick 0 with Pandas mod, but I don't.
Yeah, because then
Why
you're
not try to keep as code as
vanilla
vanilla as possible, because that's what it's about in the end, testing vanilla stuff. But Sharia, I guess, is more for development. So if you want to build something and Oh no,
Yeah,
this is gonna break. Let's quickly freeze time.
Yeah, with Sharia, you can basically flash freeze it. You will notice why it's funny later. And then just go fix it and then like continue your world. And with pandas you can't. But with pandas you have other advantages. For example, the animations work better for the slower times and so on.
If
And
you want to
it's-
make, like gargantua,
Yeah, nice
the video
looking
of that,
videos.
it's
And
better.
yeah, I guess they have to see when the piston is actually there and extended. Then it also makes sense to use pandas. But both have their advantages and disadvantages, and we're gonna link all three of them. I didn't check what the big difference between Cubitex and pandas is, but if you want to try, you can find out. We will leave all of those in the show notes, and yeah, I think that's
Okay.
all I want to talk about them. You guys,
That was quick.
yeah, you guys, what do you
Clap,
think?
I don't know
Tickspeed
if I
modes.
need a tickspeed mode at the moment.
But
About?
you can record stuff big doors overnight instead of having to sleep for 12 hours, which is boring. And also you can do stuff with Obsidian platforms, which is very interesting, which anime was about.
What can you do with Obsidian platforms?
You
I
can.
didn't necessarily talk about that, but since you mentioned, I think we should.
If we talk about it, it's kind of a cool trick.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
let's talk about it.
Are you talking about your sandgen design?
A TRQ, yes, your engine design.
TRQ
TRQ
first.
exclusive. I think. I don't think I talked about it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yes, you did, except very vaguely.
Yeah, like I didn't mention the actual technique. It just made it a lot faster compared to Sankar and Celsius previous and yeah.
About remember
Getting-
to not post it on Twitter before this airs.
So
really a
if,
first.
if you follow Ward on Twitter, you might recall he did some testing if sand duping still worked in 1.8.4, I think was the latest version you checked.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It still works. Yay.
From
Good
what
job.
I've gathered, it's just a little too complicated to perform in survival, so Mojang's not going to actually fix it.
Yeah. Well, at
Well,
least as long
like
as they
the-
don't scale change mechanics.
Well, the thing is, the Dark Oak bedrock breaking was also in the year for in the game for 1.5 years. So, well,
Not entirely
maybe.
sure.
But maybe it's also like the security updates. Once people do it enough, they have to do something. I don't know.
And I'm
continue.
pretty sure people won't be doing it enough. Like,
And continue.
has anybody ever done it in survival?
I don't know. Like not automated. I did like normal send like 1 of 2 to check if it works, but not like a lot of that.
Yeah.
But wow, a while ago when we had Cycraft on, they said it didn't work. Why
didn't?
could they said it didn't work anymore in 1.8?
Well, and we can confirm. Like I showed the machine to him. My server was running 184, if I'm not mistaken.
yes.
I just
If
did
not
for
mistaken.
And
yes,
the reason
I tested
why
every
you-
version. I'm not even kidding. Every version except for the pre-releases from like 1.7.10 or something to 1.84. So
And one of the reasons you might think that it doesn't work is that the
Oh, yes,
stand that's
ghost
in
blocks,
block
yeah.
form is a ghost block. And I think that's why they thought it didn't work. And
yes, but if you actually pull it away with pistons, it becomes a block again. If you walk into it,
you can right click it to see
notice
it.
you get stuck. If you also wait long enough, I think I'm not sure if you wait. If you really lock, it also works. So the item's always there though, so that works.
Yeah.
So
So-
yeah, it still works. But that's maybe the reason why they thought that was wrong.
And what does it?
Look at
does all of
Sharia,
that
you with
have
your
to do-
bold claims always.
what does that all have to do with the tick speed?
Well, that's the typical way. Like, as far as I understand, the bottleneck to Silence and Sankarn system, which they basically built the only fully automatic sand farm system I know about, at least.
It's not
Right.
fully automatic because it can fail.
In what sense?
Yeah, but like every system can fail. It's fully automatic.
Yeah.
well, I don't
so-
know.
That
It's,
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it has a decently high failure rate considering other farms. Like,
I guess. Yeah, but like continue, please.
yeah, enemy doesn't want to listen to macro.
wow, I'm gonna go
No,
cry
it's just like
Is
that's
Marcus
not
still
really
here
the,
then?
the argument of this, right?
now. I'm gonna go cry.
Good luck.
Come
have
on.
fun.
Sorry, I
know,
didn't
I'm
mean
just
I
kidding.
didn't mean to be rude.
Why
Yes,
you
everyone's
gotta be
being
so
mean to be rude.
rude?
I don't know. I didn't want it to be. Okay, sorry, Route, please.
Yes. So the typical, as far as I know, the bottleneck. Yes, bullshit. Oh, sorry. Don't ignore that if you're listening to the podcast. Okay. As far as I know, the main bottleneck to Sankar and Salinus' system is the fact that they have to get the sand out of the platform entirely before spawning a new one in. Else you use your block, and if you lose your block, like every time you use your block, you basically, well, depends on what kind of system you want to have. If you want to have a fully automatic system, which doesn't involve a player placing sand, you have to get every block off there. If you don't want to, you still have to get some percentage off there, because else you don't have any gain from it. You don't have to get all of that though, because you can still play some yourself if you allow the player to do that. But in the end, the player has to AFK in the end for this farm to work, as far as I know.
Yep.
So I thought for my personal application I wanted to use this for, I plan on doing that because I already built a machine. I tested it for a bit, used some instant wire and stuff, and it allows me to place 5 cents per second just holding the mouse button, not even spam clicking it. So that was pretty fast, and I think it should be good enough. Anyway, so getting the sand block off the platform, that's the main thing. Even if you place it, you need to get some percentage off. You need to do it some way, and pretty fast, because the platform will get regened at some point. Now the way it used to be done was basically you use some instant pushers, like all kinds of special technology, to have a triple piston extender push the sand bits off to one side, and then on the other side you have a sticky piston which grabs the sand or something. I think that was Sangar current sound in the system. We will link to that. You know what? While we're at it, maybe I should also link to Sankarn system, or is SS, I guess. Okay. I will also link to a tweet I posted in January, which was my system I had, which was a tiny bit faster. My main goal I got back to this and tried to make our design was because Sankarn silenced it in 1.7 without slime blocks. So I thought using slime blocks we could probably get the job done a bit faster. Because different piston mechanics and that kind of stuff. So I will link to my sand puller or whatever you want to call it. However, that's not the design I'm talking about here, because it still took 1.2 seconds, I believe, as the minimum cycle time, which is still very long. That means it can't even generate a double chest within an hour, which isn't insanely fast. Okay, so anyway, I should probably get to the point, which is that the main trick is to actually basically punch a hole in the obsidian platform. That sounds strange, because you would think, oh, it regenerates. Well, yes, but thanks to a trick Enemy talked to me about, Enemy told me that you can actually get rid of bedrock by using some bases, right?
Yeah, pistons without heads.
Yeah. So that was a couple of days before that, and I thought, well, maybe what if you just cut the piston off? Well, if you cut the arm off, the problem is if you cut the arm off while it's extended, it will just break the entire piston, as if you broke the arm by hand. If you break the piston off while it's retracting, well, then the piston arm which is retracting will be removed. The piston base will actually not be there anymore. It will be already be a full piston. That's also one of the things you can see in tickspeed mods. Once piston starts retracting, the base block is replaced by a normal piston block already. So that doesn't help either. The only way to basically use this trick is by having. Let me look for a second. By having the piston extending into the platform, well, into a hole, of course, because it can't extend to obsidian, and then regen the platform. So while it's extending, it has to be replaced, and then once you update the piston to have it retract, so you unpower it, the piston will notice, hey, actually I have a piston base here, I have to generate a piston arm on top of me, which is retracting, and it does that, and it creates a new hole. And that way you can get the whole job done a lot quicker. You need to have a hole to start with, and while you're extending your piston into it, you regen the platform, you get your piston out again, you let the sand drop, and you basically continue that. And I think the best machine with 100% retrieval rate was at a 0.6 cycle speed, if I'm not mistaken. Minimum cycle speed, of course, and a bit of a worse one, which had I think it had 50% retrieval rate. I don't know how it worked. It just only got me 50 blocks. It didn't even break the other blocks. It just disappeared. And that one had a 50% retrieval rate, and it operated at 0.3 seconds cycle time. But yeah,
So
the 0.6
basically,
is probably more interesting.
your sand block gets generated in the end, it falls, and it falls straight through the hole.
Well, no, you can't do
Almost.
that because it actually generates not on the block itself, but it's on the 0 corner. Oh no, the 100 0 corner, I think. Yeah. So basically, you can see it gets spawned in on the corner of 4 blocks, and it actually will it will fall, and then it will run its coordinates. So the block gets generated in the center of the platform. So you actually have to let it fall for a second, and then retract the piston and let everything fall.
Not an actual second, the figure of
Yeah,
speech
yeah.
second.
No, of course, for a moment. Second really pretty slow.
Yeah, and that's basically double the speed with the 100% loss duplicating design than the old one, right?
I think so. Like, I
0.2, 0.6.
problem is
1.2,
one of the
0.6.
things they don't discuss in their video. I watched it several times, never found it. I had to kind of derive it from some of the redstone I saw in the video, which so it seemed to have be like a 1.5 second system or something. But also theirs doesn't work on a cycle time. They just have sand going through the system basically. They say, okay, we have basically the entire system consists out of pistons, which basically push everything through if they have too much sand in them, and basically they overflow some system, and that way the overflow basically starts traveling around, and so they don't need a clock. That's the way that system works. But I feel like that doesn't work out like this. So I thought about using. I think this would be better to use with the clock. And basically, of course, to get everything synchronized, you would need to have some kind of signal sent through like 10 seconds before the actual machine starts. Then the player quickly has to man the block by hand, and then the machine on this end also knows, hey, at this point I have to start my extension to make sure the block gets removed. Because while the machine is going, there's no way a survival player, well, almost no way I think the survival player could actually play the break obsidian in time.
Yeah.
So I think it would be possible to set everything up. You need some synchronizations to send through the ant portal and that kind of stuff, but I think it would be possible to have a bunch of clocks, keep everything there and that kind of stuff. But it's typically quite hard. So yeah, anyway, you can check it out, the trick out on your own if you want to. For the next thing, enemy or Norwegian.
Next thing. Well, last thing on the tickspeed mods is that I saw Nesmus do some experiments with the tickspeed mods to see how long stuff actually takes and stuff. And he had, for example, that the update from a torch to when the dust turns on, like stuff like that, right? And the problem he had is, for some reason, he got the measurement of 1 game tick for when for like how long it takes for a repeater to do stuff, and that is like obviously wrong because repeaters 1 redstone tick, not 1 game tick. And Myron made a video about it, addressing that issue, and that is that you can get inaccuracies with when measuring with command blocks, but also inaccuracies or changing the outcome when you measure with MC edit.
Yes.
And one of those things is that comparison repeaters use tile ticks, and they get updated before or get processed before the fill clocks and so on work. So that's why those inaccuracies came to be. And yeah, I recommend watching those videos because quite a lot of nice stuff. And lastly, with tick stuff, there's one more video by Marin, and that's exploiting 1 tick desyncs. And especially with the tick speed mod, you can really see when there's a desync happening, and then you therefore can abuse it easier. And he uses that to make ghost block generators, and you can do it in so many different ways. And he also showed something really neat, is that when he's disguising a piston, like he has a horizontally facing sticky piston, and he disguises it, like pushes a upwards facing normal piston into it, and then when he actually retracts that, the piston arm is still horizontal, and he explains it way better than I can. But yeah, just wanted to mention, not forget that, and we will have a link in the video, in this description, show notes, and so on. But yeah, not a lot of things left to talk about. Bit more, sorry. Next thing we should talk about is something Mango did, and that was he uploaded an explanation / tutorial for his potion system. Since I talked way too much and Norwegian didn't talk a lot, you can quickly say something what you like about it.
I liked that you could see like the minecarts go, so if you could see if it's stuck or not, that's a good feature in my opinion. That sorts how it sorts it. It's the potions. You retract the piston, so every like what you're gonna brew. What more? Indicator lights. That's a good thing to have. That we don't have that, and on our system we only
Dams
have
make
casters.
everything better.
Yes.
Ooh. Massive control
And-
panel. What is for? I don't know. It's just cool lights.
No,
on
like
our design you have
his
to like go to
indicators
each
actually
and
work
every
really well.
hoppers to like refill.
Yeah, like he has really cool indicators for when it's brewing, how what it's brewing, how many bottles left, how many, if you need ingredients, what ingredients it's using for the brew
How
it's doing
many
at the moment.
bottles left? Does it just
Like
say
water bottles.
enough or almost
No,
out,
like
or
there's
does
like
it
he
say
has
26 left? Or
no, like he has on
or
top of
a
the
status
brewing
bar?
stands, he has like wrapped around with the brewing stands, he has the storage for water bottles, which is like I don't know how many double chests, and like for every double chest he has a light, or for every 2 double chests or something like that. And yeah, just like you can see the lights going off slowly.
Status bar.
Yeah, this is like his decoder is really cool because in theory can go infinitely on and make like all potions in the game, or if they add even more, right? Until you get, I don't know, like you can use the tripwire repeater, so I don't think you have limits basically.
There's limit, but you can fix that with a 3 wide gap.
Yeah, with the tripwire repeater.
Yes.
And yeah, like he has a lot of like safety features in that, so it doesn't mess up at all. And like he talked about like when he puts the potions in the according chest, like into the troubles he ran across, like with just having them, like when out of like 400 bottles, one the potions, one falls into the wrong hopper and the whole system breaks and stuff like that, and how he needs to prevent that. It's quite cool what he came up with, and now all of us can understand how he does this with the iron doors and so on. So yeah, that's quite nice. Apart from that, Mango has also been really active with ice farms. Last week we talked about TDL's ice farm, which was quite a bit faster than the old design. I think Universe bit was the one he was referring to, because he used 2 ice freezing lanes, and Mango one-upped him, made 3 freezing lanes. And also the cool thing about this is like all of them have a non-water block next to them, and therefore he's faster, which in TDL's farm only when the first one froze, the second one could freeze. And he uses a quadruple piston extender to get rid of those 3 blocks and then pushes them in. And then later on in the week, he made a version 2, and they called the Flash Freezer, if I'm not mistaken. And that's where the reference from earlier in the episode gets funny.
He even has a version 3.
Really, is there version 3 by now?
Yes,
Yeah.
with
Yep.
6 freezing spots.
God damn it!
Jeez.
I'm not keeping up. I'm sorry.
Mango, stop making ice farms. Give us a chance to catch up.
I'm trying. That possibly didn't come in my sub box, and that's why I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
I think
But
by
that's the same for the
Monday,
potion video. I didn't see it in my sub box
there
either.
will be maybe
God damn it, YouTube.
9 freezing spots.
Yeah, like I think if you like build 2 of them, like at some point you will just make more ice than you can mine. A
Mhm.
certain point. So if you just like take his version 1 or 2 and make like 3 modules or 4 modules of those, you probably end up with more ice that you can mine. I'm not entirely sure, but possibly. And yeah, like this is getting ridiculous.
To say the least.
Yeah, of course I support trying to make the best design possible and the fastest ever and so on. And the output is where is where it like the point where I care. But at some point, like this is like not reasonable anymore. It's like the 1K iron farms. Like you don't ever need that. It's just because you
It's
can.
still
and
cool, but you just don't need
yeah, it's just because you can. And I'm sorry, but like at some point the fascination for like an even faster ice farm is just not there anymore. I haven't watched version 3, but like the version 2, like he has this slow-mo shot of like his quintuple piston extender moving, and to be honest, like that's really really cool to look at. Like he's retracting while the first one is still extended, like the front one and stuff like that.
So technically, it's like a triple piston extender,
No, it's a quintuple.
or I mean, a quad piston. Technically, a quad, but with
No.
the normal piston at the end, and like it uses the instant retracting mechanism.
But it's still a quintuple extension.
Well, yeah.
The only thing, a normal piston at the end instead of a sticky.
Yes. Yes, you don't have the block in front of your quintuple extender. Well, the block would be the ice, but you don't pull it back. So, yeah. It's
So
still a quintuple though.
It's a quad extender with a normal
No, it's a
piston at the end.
quintuple.
It's a quintuple.
If you have one normal piston, is it a 0 extender or what? It's just a normal piston extender.
Whatever, I'm tired right now.
We will link all the ice farm videos so you can look at them and decide what size is unreasonable for your server and or world, and you can build that one then.
You can also determine whether or not it's quintuple extender.
Huh?
It was
Say
a
again?
joke.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think 2 last things, and then we're done for, like with my list of the incredibly too many things that happened this week.
Yeah.
Earlier we talked about the lightning stuff, and Shiryu made a really good video where he shows his creeper cell, and that's really the best one I've seen yet because it's like the thought he put into it. It's so awesome. Usually, like the ones we've seen so far use, for example, boats, and lightning strikes and the boat gets destroyed, and then the creeper drops, and there's a detection for it. He and the SciCraft server came up with something really cool, which is they use armor stands, and armor stands count as entity living, and
Armor
therefore
sense again.
and yeah, the armor stands.
Everything's armor sense now.
Yeah,
Even in
1-8.
survival, not just in creative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and armor stands count as entity living, and therefore lightning will attack them, like it would attack normal mobs, and they all have the creeper like 3 blocks low, which is the last point where it still gets hit, and then they just like instantly drop it into water, and it doesn't get directly hit or doesn't yeah, well, basically with the armor stand you don't have to reset it all the time because they have the armor stand, and the armor stand doesn't get like doesn't burn because they have it partially in water, but it doesn't.
How do
also,
they detect it then?
well, they have it partially in water in a way where it's like half in one block, half in the other, and because it's not fully on that block, the fire can still spawn on the other block, and that will cause an update. And they detect that, and yeah, like it's really cool, and they put so much thought into it and explain it better than I can. So I recommend watching that video. Also be linked.
Thanks.
And for hopefully last thing now, so Niels can finally wrap up this episode, or Wout, or whoever takes too long to do this. Crush
Wout?
Pixel made a nice little mod for creative people that do command block contraptions, and
Wout?
it just
Hint?
groups command blocks.
Yes.
You can group command blocks and like assign them a color, and then say, hey, this is a group that is for the clock, and this is for detection of X, and this is what actually runs stuff and so on. Therefore,
Is
you can
it-
like.
Are the command blocks another color then or what?
Yeah, it's just like with the village mark mode where you have like a color for the village, you have like a color for a command block. It's just like an overlay thing.
Can't you just use carpets on top of it?
Yeah, but then you cannot put a block there.
And you.
There's
Fine.
actually a reason to use this model. It's
I
quite
don't
neat
really
and
do a lot
useful
of-
if you do
I
like
don't
bigger command block stuff.
I don't really use a lot of command blocks. Yeah.
Yeah, like for me, not that useful, but like for other people you doing command block stuff, I think that could be very useful if they use that. And the cool thing, or one of the cool things about it, is that it gets saved in the world file. And therefore, if I give you my world and say, hey, look at the red group that is for activation and whatever, you can still use the same groups and it still works.
I don't
and-
have the mod. Everything
then-
is just
then-
orange.
No, without the mod, nothing will change. Like it will just a normal vanilla world.
Yeah.
But if you have the mod, you can see the colors.
The vanilla color that's orangey with the white dot.
Yeah, fair. Also, a quite neat feature is that he has this protect mode, where you when you assign a command block to a color and say, okay, color yellow is protected now, you cannot break the yellow ones anymore, and that way you don't accidentally break like something that was part of a critical system that you still needed.
Oh, that's cool.
Then you just need an undo button. Isn't that easier?
I'm not sure. Since it's not in vanilla, like for cloning, I would like an undo button, but they don't do that. But I don't know, modern you can do that probably somehow. And wow, I found one last thing on my list that I didn't talk about yet, which is something we forgot from last week actually, which is the hopper item duplication automated farming video that yet again Mango made. And when I saw that, I was like, this is like the security updates. If people abuse it enough, they will hopefully fix it. No, seriously, like there's been in the game forever, and like when he made that video, it totally clicked for me. Like people, like when it's automated, people will use it more. People can abuse it more easier, and then they will do it. And when they do it more, they have to do something about it, right?
Yeah.
They don't have to, but
If
there's a
like this
higher
is
chance
game
they will
breaking,
do
like
something
if
about it.
like I don't know, like on the Minecraft or some whatever like server that all the 8-year-olds watch nowadays, if they see there's like 10 double chests of beacons and diamond blocks in spawn because someone made this machine, maybe
Well,
I
still
want
not
to try.
Minecraft, but
Maybe
yeah.
I want to try building this machine as well. And yeah, like I got in touch with DocM and asked him if he might want to make a little video showing that off. And actually he did that, and this was really cool. And he actually mentioned my name and linked Mango like proper credit for proper credit and so on.
Oh,
And-
so I see you're fanboying. You're finally given in.
Yes. Enemy's famous.
And he's finally also a fanboy like the rest of us.
May the fanboy be with you.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
And-
club.
Yeah, at this point, thanks again to Doc for doing this video and hopefully getting this bug fixed and being more or less directly responsible for that. And
Mango.
and Mango, of course, for making the design, and hopefully
Enemy
thank-
for
thank-
saying it. And
yeah, I'm gonna thank myself.
And me for always being there for enemy, of course. Put me in the
Aw.
bug report, people.
Oh, thank you. No, like, guys, if you like abuse this enough, they have to fix it. So
abuse it. Abuse the
Yeah,
word.
actually, this time I want to encourage people to abuse
Dupe
this
stuff.
dupe stuff, and hopefully hope for a better game together in the end.
Make it trending on Twitter and get it in the top list on Reddit and
Yes,
Yeah,
so next
like,
time there's a bug, people, if
hashtag
it allows you
Mojang
to
fix
crash the
this stupid
server,
bug.
Well, no,
if
like
it allows
this,
you to crash the
this,
server, just explode it.
yeah, like this thing is game breaking. Not in the sense that like your server crashes, but or like, your
Just call
game
it
crashes, but
game
it like
breaking. That's yeah,
breaks
people say,
the gameplay, and that needs to be fixed. And therefore, I hope with enough exposure, it will. And that's why I say, even though I'm totally against duping, go do that shit. And that's what I want to end it for today. So
Dupe so that our hopper timers don't break.
Yes.
out.
duping for
quick.
timers.
Dupe the
Yes.
outro.
Make the outro?
Dupe
Dupe
the
the
dupe the
outro.
outro.
Outro. Okay, that sounds... Damn. Thought for a second you said it differently. That was
Dupe
a
the
real shock for
outro.
me. That was a real shock for me. Okay, we have to duplicate the outro. So, dang, that was a real shock for me actually. I thought you just had to make the outro for a second. That was really weird.
Mojang,
that
fix
was-
it.
That was quite a shock for me. I thought
Fix
you-
it.
Oh, I
Dang,
see what
that
you're
was quite a
doing
shock
now.
for me.
Haha.
Dang, that was quite a shock for me.
Yeah, shock. Spock.
Dang. That
Now
was quite
it's
a shock for
instead
me.
of just
I think it
duping them.
duped out.
Okay, actually the hoppers are full right now, so I can't dupe anymore, sorry. Yeah, so
you
that'll
guys.
bit.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.